now that we've ran all of our ground algorithms, we've gotten what we think is good ground everywhere, and we are satisfied with our classifications of ground. Let's thin this down. Keep in mind that is 2.8 million points, way too much for creating a surface or anything that will be of any size that can be used. So we are going to thin this. So in order to thin it, go to your point cloud tasks, and we're going to make a new one if you haven't already. Add, and we're going to call this, ground thinning. And we're going to go to classify by statistics is what we're wanting. Hit OK and OK. And with it active, you're going to leave your feature geometry and your input class alone. It's going to be using your active LES, but our source points we want to only use ground. So let's change it to ground and make sure that filter is on, and we're going to hit OK. The cell size, this is where you choose how far apart to thin it, very similar to what we did with the seed. So I'm going to choose 10 units. Depending on your project, you can choose whatever you want. We're going to do median, and our destination class, we're going to put it on 8, and we're going to set them with a synthetic flag. Hit OK. We're going to leave everything else alone in here. Scroll down to generate cell size output file. And I don't really want a shapefile for the grid again, so let's uncheck that. Let's hit apply and let's compute it. And what that did, and you see there's no change here because I'm looking at ground. Let's look at our thinned and force 100% here and change it to elevation, because now it's all one classification, you can't see much. So a nice thinned surface with a cell every 10 feet. Let's turn on our contours. It's pretty nice and smooth. Watch if I choose ground. Here, and I force 100%. Got a little bit of a graphics error going on here. Let's zoom in a little. So when we thinned it, you lose fidelity. You see how these contours are running around here? Watch what happens when I go to the thinned. And I try to force it here. It's kind of glitching out on me. We lose all of that fidelity on that, and we're going to handle that with break lines here in just a minute. But that's how we can thin it down. So now if I go back here and I scan, I got 155 versus 3 million. So we could actually have thinned that at a smaller area if we wanted to.